How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Discount Gamer. I am John, aka Iron Business, and with us is
Xavier Keys, as always. Brolic Blaxican,
the legend,
the man and the myth.
I like the myth better.
Fuck you.
So our co-host Jay is actually taking care of some stuff today, and Mike has actually decided to step away, to go after some other things that he's interested in. So mad props to both of them. Hope you guys get to where you're going safe, and as always, best to everybody. So today we don't really have a specific game that we're talking about. We're just kind of bullshitting so you guys can, I guess, learn a little bit of who we are and what we're into and all of that fun stuff. So, as always, guys, hit us up on Facebook, Twitter. Leave us a comment on the podcasts, whichever, wherever. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you have any questions. We're always down to speak with the fans, too, so...
Always down to clown.
Sure.
Anyway. So, I don't know if you guys knew this, but John and I used to work together. It was this cool experience. I met him about a year and some change ago, or like about a year ago.
Yeah, just about.
We worked at this little arcade here in El Paso, and that's where we found out we had a mutual love of arcade games.
And Pokemon.
And Pokemon, and all things goofy as shit.
Pokemon is life.
It is indeed. Every time somebody at the arcade sees like my set of keys, they're like, "Oh, you like Pokemon?" I'm like, yeah, who doesn't?
Right? And if you don't, then why are you here?
Exactly.
So, last show we talked about, what is it, Clash of Clans? Clash Royale.
Yeah.
And if you're playing this game, I hope that you've said goodbye to your life, because we have.
It's an ongoing bullshit with me. Like, now I can't stop. Like, ever since like I started stacking shit up and playing it consistently, I cannot put it down.
Yeah, good game. Damn good game.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best free-to-play games that we've played.
Yeah. Because, we were also kind of playing it on a sliding scale. It does exactly what it's supposed to do on the phone.
Yeah.
In other games, we were kind of comparing it to other console bullshit. So, I definitely do appreciate what it's doing with this shit. And also maybe the one before that, we kept talking about DC versus Marvel. And this week, we had the Shazam trailer come out.
Yeah.
So, I really like this trailer. It looks like a really good-looking movie, just because it looks more like a Marvel movie than it does DC. Like, they kind of put the whole super dark bullshit aside and tried for something a little bit more fan-friendly.
Yeah. I have to say, for me, though, I think I'm more excited about the Black Adam.
Yeah. Because I will watch anything with The Rock.
Well, duh.
I still talk about Scorpion King way more than any person ever needed should.
But aside from the fact that, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is going to play Black Adam in the Shazam movie, he's also getting his own movie, which, is going to tell his backstory and why he is the way he is and so on and so forth. Which is actually really exciting, like, especially after seeing him in makeup and costume, and granted it's all early development stuff, but, he looks really, really good.
Yeah, like, all this stuff's not coming out until, like, next year, like, pretty far down into it.
Yeah, next couple of years.
Yeah, I think Shazam looks hella goofy in this shit, though. Like, the Billy Batson they picked was, your average kid.
Yeah.
But, like, when he turns into Captain Marvel.
Shazam.
Like, he looks like he's, like, sticking pillows in his shoulders, and I'm like, God.
I can see that. I can see that.
Piece of shit. I just want them to comment, like, I really hope he just, like, oh yeah, I could definitely beat Superman's ass, just so everyone knows.
Right? Just throw that shit out there.
Oh, yeah.
And at some point, he's gonna say it. Like,
you kind of have to.
Well, yeah, there's gonna be that mix-up, and Superman's gonna say something goofy like, oh, you think you're tough.
Yeah.
And
I do.
He's gonna have to pop off and be like, yeah, I could probably take you hand to hand, and everybody watching it at that point is gonna be like, oh shit,
it's Superman versus the bitch boy.
Mom just slapped Daddy at the dinner table. It's gonna be that reaction.
It really is. And then what else do we got coming out from Marvel? Ant-Man and Wasp just came out. did
Ant-Man
pretty
and
well.
Wasp. There's going to be another Thor movie. There's going to be...
Spider-Man Far From Home is coming out next year.
Yeah.
So, you know, all this bullshit. Avengers 4 is really what everybody's waiting on. And
Yeah,
in an
well-
interview,
well-
Chris Hemsworth said this is going to be even fucking crazier than the last one.
Well, yeah, because there's 2 more Infinity War movies confirmed that, you know, take it further and show what the stories are.
Yeah.
I believe there's going to be another Black Panther movie, which,
You know, the first Black Panther was good. I was really into it. Not for, like, you know, the racial shit motivated with it. And
it was a good movie.
It was a lot of action. That's what really I was into. It was a lot of fucking dope-ass fighting scenes. It was pretty funny, too. But, a huge wrench just got thrown into Marvel with the director of Guardians of the Galaxy. He got fired by Disney.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, they unearthed some shit. I think I was told it was like some child pornography shit or some like racism shit. And
some real shit.
yeah, really fucked up shit. And Marvel and Disney have this like morality clause that every one of them has to sign. Like when
Well, yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. first brought into Marvel to play Iron Man, you know, he was still kind of reeling from this whole drug sort of situation, and
And
Marvel straight up,
alcoholism.
Marvel straight up told him like, look, man, you fuck off on our time, that's a no go. We will shoot your ass right out. And then when Disney got linked up to everything, they were 100% like, and it's not like they're being forced to. It is a charitable thing that they do, but Disney contracts these people. They go to their children hospitals and go talk to these kids because they want them to continue this persona of superheroism
Well, yeah.
in regular life.
Yeah, you know, stuff like that gives, you know, kids and adults that kind of realization, like, holy shit, like,
Yeah.
this is Iron Man.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the world over knows them as that person.
Yeah, exactly.
I've always been a firm believer of, you know, there's always going to be a role that an actor or actress is going to play, and that is what they're going to be known for.
Yeah.
You know,
You take a look at Will Smith. For people in our generation, it is always and always going to be the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
yeah.
He will never run away from that.
Yeah,
Alfonso, whatever the fuck his name,
Yeah.
Carlton, for the rest of his days.
Oh, yeah. And
Gone.
if it's not that, it's the
Bad
guy
Boys.
from Bad Boys, Men in Black.
Yes.
You know, stuff like that. Like, he will always be one of those personas.
Yeah.
Look at the kid that did Napoleon Dynamite.
I don't know a single other thing he's in because I don't think of him any other way.
The Benchwarmers.
That's true.
You know, like
but I
he-
always think of him as Napoleon.
You see, and that's just it. Like, it doesn't matter what role he's going to play, how he plays it, whether it's comedy, drama, horror, science fiction, whatever. Like, everybody is always going to know him as Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
One actor that I feel like has just recently evaded all that is Ryan Reynolds. There was this huge, long period of time, and if we have younger viewers that don't remember this movie, Van Wilder. That dude
Oh,
could
shit.
not get out from under Van Wilder
Yeah.
for many, many years. To the point where when Ted came out, he played that one dude's like secret boyfriend who used to like beat the shit out of him. And then he's
That's
like,
right.
"What the fuck, dude? Why does he just run off with that Van Wilder looking dude?"
That's right. Which is funny because the guy, his quote unquote secret lover, is also the guy that played the Tick.
And in Ted 2,
Yeah.
you see him in the thing. And his
Which
current
was-
husband in that is the Klingon from Star
Yeah.
Trek.
Yeah.
So it's like a double nerd. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember that.
So,
But seeing him in the Tick costume was
hilarious.
goddamn.
It's so fucking extra. 100%. Hugh Jackman.
Wolverine.
When he first came out and said, like, I'm going to be playing Wolverine, people were astonished that this Tony Award winning theater actor was even going to attempt this.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I was pissed. I was very pissed because back in the day, a Wednesday, if you will,
Oh, it used to be a Tuesday.
we don't know. There was a magazine that was in print at the time, monthly, called Wizards, and it was one of those where, you know, it would show you all the new comic book movies, you know, comic book news, like anything comic related, it had it in there. And in the back of it, like the back third or half or what have you, was a pricing guide.
Yeah.
So if you collected comic books and cards and, you know, what have you, you could go through and actually check yourself what it was worth at the time.
Yeah.
In one of the last episodes that I remember having, it was the casting and the announcement for the first X-Men movie, which, God, it was terrible. All three of them were.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I think like the only remnant of those movies I'd actually appreciate is the part where like Juggernaut is chasing down Kitty Pryde. He's like,
Yeah.
"Don't you know who I am? I'm the
Juggernaut,
Juggernaut, bitch." And that's it. Though. You don't really need to watch any other parts.
yeah, yeah,
And maybe the part where like Nightcrawler is like speaking German and telling everybody to go fuck themselves.
yeah. But like I remember because they used to, put everybody's picture and what role they were going to play and who they were and blah blah blah. And I saw Hugh Jackman casted as the Wolverine, and his picture was so fucking goofy. Like, I mean, he was real clean cut and cleaned up and stuff. And I remember thinking to myself, "There's no fucking way
This
that
fucking bitch boy.
that this tool is going to end up looking or acting or sounding like Wolverine."
Yeah.
And I'll be goddamn, like,
Push 17 years later when Logan comes out.
yeah,
Logan is pretty widely considered one of the better comic book movies contemporarily. That this was so perfect for Hugh Jackman because we had just the first X-Men movie came out in the year 2000. I was like in kindergarten at the time because I graduated in 2012.
Jesus.
So like
way
this
to
is
make me feel fucking old.
this is a character I grew up with. This is like Robert Downey Jr. back when I was in 8th grade saying like, "Oh, I'm Iron Man." And we get to Infinity 10 years later and it's the same guy and we got to grow up with him and it was this very inclusive experience with the audience. And I love that about that.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is, seeing these actors, whether it's Hugh Jackman or Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans, as Captain America. Let's try that shit again. We're at the point now where we've seen them introduced into the MCU. We've seen them grow and evolve and go through hardships, and here we are at Infinity War where shit got real.
Yeah.
People are being removed.
Yeah, and that's what's so important about this movie is this is 10 years later. This is no longer a movie for children.
Yeah.
If you really want to think about it. I remember watching that opening night, and I watch most of these movies opening night. You hear these thunderous applause at the end of the movie. When everything's said and done, it is dead silent in that movie theater. I saw a kid crying in the corner.
Well, yeah, because you figure in this one, it's not a typical ending for a superhero movie, whether it's good or bad. Like, people are removed from existence at the end of this movie.
Exactly.
And, for the people that haven't followed the comic books or haven't read them or, what the case may be, they don't know how this is going to play out. They don't know what's going to happen or how it's going to happen. The characters that become involved with, with things like this, which is probably where I'm most excited because I've read these comic books, both the graphic novels, the monthly subscriptions, and shit does get real.
Oh yeah, it pops up hard. And the blessed thing about comic books is there's always a way that your guy can come back. The movie series, it's a little bit harder for shit like that to happen. And it's one of those kind of growing pains that young comic book fans have to learn to deal with.
Yeah.
Not every time does your guy come back.
Well, yeah, because now it's not a matter of, do they find a way to bring these people back into existence? It's more than that in the movies now because, what if somebody's contract expires? What if there's a scheduling conflict?
What if somebody, knock on wood, Lord forbid, somebody dies?
Yeah.
These things do happen.
Yeah, I mean, especially the death thing. Look at the Poltergeist movies. Look at the Crow movies. Look at Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Him and his son both went out the same way, which was tragic.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
Yeah. Take a look at Heath Ledger in the Batman series. That when they first wrote this in, they were like, okay, we really want Heath Ledger to be a big part of this. The Joker's obviously going to be a big deal to Batman.
Which was phenomenal.
Yeah, and when Heath Ledger died, it was so jarring. And it was one of those things that, young comic book fans didn't have a chance to deal with because it happened off. So, like, if you didn't hear about it in the news or you didn't follow along with it, you just weren't aware of it.
Yeah, but at the same time, for people of our generation, well, I say our generation, you've proven that I'm much older than you.
Barely, about all of 30 seconds older than me. Let's say that.
Sure, let's say that. When he passed, it was kind of a double whammy for our generation because now it wasn't, Heath Ledger has passed away. I mean, shit, we saw Heath Ledger in
A Knight's Tale.
A Knight's
I'll
Tale.
always remember for that.
Oh yeah, what,
10 Things I Hate About You.
yeah.
Kind of crazy shit.
Lords of Dogtown.
Yeah.
You know, like same thing. Like we've seen him grow.
Yeah.
You know, into this phenomenal actor, which he eventually became the Joker, which he did incredibly at.
But I mean,
Pass away, but not only did he pass away from an OD, but he passed away with one of the what is their name? One of the sisters that used to be on Full House.
mhm.
You know, so now it's like, oh shit, like we have these two icons
from my childhood that now
Yeah.
we won't have anymore, and it's so fucked up. All the stuff that happened in with Heath Ledger, that this role killed him. If you didn't know, Heath Ledger was this remarkable method actor who
Yeah.
used to ingrain himself into all things he would do, and the Joker was one of these dark, nefarious sort of situations where he lived in a crack house for several weeks.
Yeah.
He still has not been released by the family. He kept this journal in character of the Joker of things that the Joker would find funny.
Yeah.
And it would be like, puppies, AIDS, landmines, shit like that. And it was really like fucked up, dark shit
Yeah.
that he was like kind of channeling and eventually died pursuing.
Yeah.
And you get these interviews from people that worked with Heath Ledger while he was the Joker. People would talk about he's kind of a fucking scary dude when he's on set.
Yeah.
You can obviously tell. Most of the wheels are turning at any given time. There's pictures of him skateboarding over fucking, what is his name, Christian Bale and stuff like that. So he was mostly there, but when he was in character,
Like he was
this
there.
was a person you wanted to avoid.
Yeah.
Like fucking Wesley Snipes on the set of Blade, who used to write sticky notes as Blade, saying like, Blade demands that you bring me fucking Fresca.
Fresca.
And
Scary vampire.
it's this dark thing that you really find out about. And not only that, but when the Dark Knight shooter happened, when the movie came out, that one dude who went buck wild ape shit and shot up a movie theater.
I remember that.
Guys, if you don't remember this, some dude with like fucking crazy ass orange hair just straight up.
What was that? The second movie or the first one?
It was the second. It was the Dark Knight
second
shooting.
one.
He just like lost his fucking mind, went shot up a fucking movie theater, and then when police raided his house, yes please, the police raided his house and he had his fucking house booby trapped. I think like 2 police officers died trying to enter.
And they weren't little booby traps. Like this was like some serious shit.
Oh no, it was like a nail bomb that like he stuck
Yeah.
to his door, some wild ass shit.
Like a fucking crude mixture of like Saul meets the Joker.
Oh yeah, some fucked up shit. But we're just, let's not get too
Way
dark
off
into
track.
it. But
But no, unfortunately, things like that happen to a lot of actors and actresses. Like the what is her name? She ended up playing Pepper Potts, but the movie.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Thank you. Originally, when she was in, can you like not pour milk or?
No. No, and also
Jesus.
can't clean too well.
Apparently, when she was in Shallow Hal, and she had to wear that
fat suit.
Yeah, the fat suit. That actually messed with her a lot. Like she ended up having to go for counseling for overweight, and she ended up starving her. Yeah, like shit like that is a big deal for some of these actors and actresses. Jumping back to how Disney holds these high standards of their
The morality clause.
yeah. Whenever they did Leif Schreiber as Sabretooth, who hands down is my favorite Sabretooth. Like goddamn, he fucking nailed everything. Leif Schreiber was actually like a hardcore alcoholic.
Yeah.
And when they approached him, they said, "Look, we'll give you all this money to play this character."
They gave him counseling. They gave him
Yeah,
they got him
like
into a program.
they really fucking helped these people. But they told him, "Look, if you jump off that wagon, you're ruined. Like
you will smash your fucking life."
Oh yeah.
And they're no joke about that. Disney always gets their money.
Oh yeah.
Always.
One way or another.
Yeah.
It's like the fucking Mickey Mouse Mafia.
Oh yeah. They're no bullshit about that. These motherfuckers will shake you down.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's really good because while the counseling helped with more than just alcoholism, and I don't know the details, but it helped him with a lot of the aspects of just his everyday day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Which in turn made him a better person. And if I remember correctly, like since that happened, since that movie was recorded, he hasn't touched
he's been
alcohol
clean.
since.
Yeah, like Robert Downey Jr. I think what actually kicked this thing off, I saw this one Facebook video talking about he played a role where he was like this really strung out dude, big time addict, and when he was playing this character, he would describe to people, he's like, the reason that I was so traumatized by this movie is because after a certain point, it was no longer me acting as someone else. That he was just worried that this is just now what type of person I am. And he, he went and got cleaned up, and now, one of the biggest names in movies.
Yeah.
This motherfucker makes money hand over fist.
Oh yeah, but I mean, when you look at some of these roles, like you said, the drug addict, people don't understand that it's not just going in for a month and shooting this movie. Like, these people have to be in this character for months upon months, if not years.
Yeah.
So
Especially like these very like long-term movies and stuff like that. Like fucking what's his name? Fucking plays Thanos, plays Cable. He was also in Sicario.
I know who you're talking about because he also played the young version of Tommy Lee Jones in the last Men in Black movie, which was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, when he was approached in the first Avengers movie, they were like straight up like, dude, you are the dude. You are our Thanos. We need you to be prepared in like 6 years to do this full movie. You're going to do it back to back. Because like when Avengers came out, like they kept rolling. Like they're pushing through this thing.
Oh yeah.
It is a ridiculously expensive like venture to go do this thing. So fuck, it's gonna bug the shit out of me what his name is. But while doing this is a very long term like thing that he's going with. Josh Brolin.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Yeah, he's been in this character for such a long time, and he's had no detrimental effects about it. But like, I'm just saying, like, for the length of time that you have to do this thing for, it's ridiculous.
Well, yeah, because like it becomes that thing where eventually, at what point does this actor become this character?
Yeah. When do they stop doing this? Fuck it. There's a hilarious line that, once again, Robert Downey Jr. brings up when he's in the movie Tropic Thunder, which is the only movie that I will let fly for having blackface in it. But he'll talk about, like, his character in the movie is a character playing another character. Like, I'm the dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Yeah.
And he'll talk about, like, shit, I don't leave character until I do the DVD commentary. And some actors are really like that.
Yeah.
Like, when you give so much of yourself to this one thing, it takes pieces of you with it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, hats off to these fucking dudes, but...
Yeah, no kidding.
I definitely do what Robert Downey Jr. does. You know that dude got paid $15 million for being in Spider-Man Homecoming? And if you've seen it, he was in there for like 10 minutes. Oh, yeah. Baller money for next to nothing. He was in there for like 10 minutes, maybe. And he wasn't even actually there. There was only like one scene with him and Tom Holland in it at the same time. There was the scene in the very beginning and a scene towards the end.
That's right. Yeah, because the rest of it was with his guard.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
It's
$15 million?
Right?
Jesus,
$15 million. And, I mean, like, dude said, like, one of those movies would have just set you for life. But nope, he's got all of them.
Give me $1 million, and I'm set for life.
Dude, fuck yeah, I'd make that shit work. Hell yeah. Pay up.
Make that shit work, please. I wouldn't have to make anything work. Like, I live so low budget, $1 million would last me and probably my kids.
That's a lot of top ramen.
That is, yeah, it is. But, chicken ramen for life.
I'm very scared. I'm one of those people. I've got this down to a science. I eat 2 packs of ramen at a time if I'm doing it.
Oh yeah.
So I take the ramens, I put them in there, I hit them with some spices. The spices they give you are not enough.
No,
you throw some red pepper in there, you throw some black pepper in there, you throw some seasoning salt in there, throw the water on top, close it in a little thing. I've been eating top ramen since I could stand. I still have not mixed chicken and beef because I'm scared of what I'll make.
No.
I don't know what'll happen. I don't know if the universe will explode
it will.
Right there.
It will. I'm telling you right now, it will. You can't mix 2 galactic flavors like chicken and beef. Chicken and then
it's like
lime chicken and shrimp, go for it. Go get a little Santa Fe in there. But chicken and beef, no. Bad shit happen to good people when you do that shit.
That's Disney and Marvel. Like, this is how stars were created. Right? So much super pressure like in there. Like, if you've ever seen the movie Funny People, Seth Rogen has this hilarious joke. He's like, I think that Will Smith and David Beckham have touched the tips of their penises together. Just to see if they could. And then Ryan Reynolds comes in and tries to put his penis in there, and the wind starts blowing like it's fucking Salem, and then, fucking Robert Downey Jr. comes in with his dick and tries to play it. He's like, no, you can't cross the streams. This is what it's like to mix chicken and beef.
Indeed. Well, that got a little too graphic too quick.
Oh, dude. Fucking Seth Rogen will talk about penises for days.
He will.
Yes, Seth Rogen's really got this fantastic, thing that he does. If you've ever seen Hilarity for Charity, it's this comedy show that he does to raise awareness and research and provide care for people with Alzheimer's.
Really?
Yep. He was actually on what is it? Not CNN. Fucking that one like boring ass news channel that nobody ever really watches, where you get to see people just chilling there forever. C-SPAN.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he just he's sitting there and talks about it because his wife, her mother, is very afflicted by Alzheimer's, and this is a big cause that he ended up taking up. He gives a lot of his own personal time and effort and money into this sort of situation.
Wow.
And it's like he's like a huge philanthropist into it. And it's so fucked up because all I could think is like, when has Seth Rogen been married? Son of a bitch.
True. It's funny, like I don't consider Seth Rogen in any way, shape, fashion, or form attractive. But my wife thinks that he's just drop dead gorgeous, and I don't get it.
I don't see it. His laugh irritates the fuck out of me.
See, and she thinks that's like one of his best qualities.
I guess.
But then again, she's with my goofy ass, so who knows?
Motherfuckers think James Franco's hot. I kind of see it, but I look at him like, why? Ever since Spider-Man 3,
honestly, like, okay, if you're talking about James Franco, I think that his younger brother would have to be the more attractive one.
Yeah. I think he's funnier, too.
Yeah, but even still, like...
No, maybe not.
They both have had their moments.
Oh, yeah. Like, 22 Jump Street. Fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
The Interview. Fantastic movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was just going to be straight-up comedy. This was actually a pretty well-told story about fucking... this one dude who, still to this day, nobody knows why he has this much money. Most people think it's a money laundering bullshit. And if you didn't know this, this is how money laundering works. So get your pen and paper and get ready to become a criminal. Number one, you find somebody with more money than they could possibly spend.
Life lessons, kids.
Whether that be drugs or messed up bullshit. They give you the money. You take that money and spend stupid amounts of it. Real life. Keep your receipts. Baller
tax
money
write-offs
on everything, so that way when they're like funneling their drug money into bullshit, it looks legitimate. And they think that this is how this dude was actually making his own movie, because I guess he spent like close to $6 million trying to make his own movie that was so bad it only ran for like the minimum amount of time, which was like 2 weeks in movie theaters.
God.
And he just kept shoving money right up its ass. Like, he really tried to. If you've never seen The Room, it is quite possibly, no joke, the worst movie ever made.
God damn.
Go watch The Room. Audience, watch it. You'll make it about halfway through before you just vomit yourself inside out.
Wow.
Truly terrible.
Holy
And then
shit.
immediately following, go watch Disaster Artist, or I think that's what it's called.
I've heard that one is actually really phenomenal.
It really is. It's a good movie about the worst movie ever made. Yeah.
Irony.
It really is. And there's just this purely flawless part in there where he's like overacting out of his ass, and she's like, "You gotta get away from me, Johnny. I don't care about you anymore. You're tearing me apart, Lisa." That's the only part of the movie you ever need to watch. It is pure art because he just screams at her, and then at the end of the movie he jacks off on her dress and kills himself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
it's about this super American guy, got a nice job, and then he'll keep asking his friends about their weird sexual encounters. And then he's in love with this girl who cheats on him, and then at the end of the movie he kills himself. And it's... when you watch Disaster Artist, it talks about, the possible theories that why he wrote this movie. And one of them was that it's actually a biography, not for any person he truly loved, but because he was such a bad actor or, bad producer and whatever, that this story is actually about the craft that he loves and how it continuously betrays him. And when you think about it in that aspect, you're like, wow, this is a really deep story, and I really want to get into this. And then you find out, maybe he's just fucking crazy. Tommy Wiseau, which is the dude that plays in The Room, and he directed it, and he wrote it, and he did all this shit. If you go watch interviews with him, Tommy Wiseau is what I imagine an alien who beamed down to Earth and is now just assuming human skin. His is just like a portrayal of what he thinks human beings do. It's fucking hilarious. It's wild as shit. And he just doesn't get it. It's weird.
God damn.
And now that's my thing. The fuck were we talking about?
I don't even know anymore. I'm just imagining like this little fucking spaceman. Yeah. Yep.
Flying down.
That's a thing.
Oh, man. What else has
So-
happened recently?
What's the last game you played?
The last game I
Not fucking Clash Royale. All right, step away from the shit.
I was pretty hardcore into State of Decay 2. It was actually really good. It's also fucking ridiculously hard. Nobody tells you that when you jump into this shit. Because like State of Decay 2 is a really good game if you're a settlement building type of person. In that you start off, you got 3 people or 4 people living in this post-apocalyptic zombie world, and this game features the most brutal thing that any person could ever have in a video game: permanent death. You lose a character out there in the wild, they're gone forever. All the stats, all the time you put into them, all the gear that you gave them, gone. Unless you want to go pick that shit up, but like you do not get to have people come back. Like there's no respawns. It's bullshit and it sucks. So people can starve to death. People get injured out there. People get sick. It fucking blows dicks. But I would not put it down for like a while. Please go check it out.
You couldn't put the game down or the blowing dicks?
Both.
Oh!
Both.
Oh my.
You beast.
At the same time?
At the same time. So that made the game even fucking harder.
I imagine. You probably couldn't see.
No. What about you? What are you playing these days?
I just finished God of War.
Oh yeah.
Fucking phenomenal game. Everything about that game was just phenomenal.
Oh yeah. I've seen like the motion capture. If you just look on your own time, go look it up. The dude that voices Kratos in this, he does this thing where he tells lame dad jokes while he's Kratos. Fucking hilarious.
Nice. No, I mean, everything about that game was phenomenal. The main story, the side quests, the bosses, the enemies, being able to build, that game's version of the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Just everything about that game was phenomenal.
The thing that gets me is the lore that's attached with it.
Yeah.
When you talk about the mythology that goes into this thing, fucking beautiful. And like we were talking about right before the show, I think the last fucking frontier they can hit on this is Egyptian mythology. Once they do that, then I can just go ahead and kill myself. I'm done with life at that point.
I can see that.
I'm very seriously considering buying a PlayStation just so I can play Spider-Man. That's really what I want to get into.
The last Spider-Man game that I played was the Spider-Man on the PlayStation 1.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Now keep in mind that, this was the first 3D free roam Spider-Man game. So, you were actually swinging, building, building.
I had it on PC. It was hard as balls. And
it was,
no
but
human
it
being
was
is
so
capable of doing
good.
this.
It
Yeah.
was so good. And I've never really been interested, in any other Spider-Man games. There were the older ones like what is it, Maximum Carnage, things like that. I wanted to play Web of Shadows, never got around to it.
Web of Shadows actually pretty good. Not a great rating on it, but it was definitely worth the playing.
Well, see, and it's like everybody that I've spoken to said that they really enjoyed it. They loved everything about it. But yeah, dude, like all the typical critics, IGN, GameFAQs, Metacritic, whatever.
They kind of shut this thing down.
Yeah, they got pretty harsh on it.
And what the thing about Web of Shadows, it's a karma based game, and it's one of those things like it only has like 3 outcomes, and that was the problem with karma based games. Way back in the day was you either were just an angel among angels or Satan himself, and those are the only ways you can get 2 good outcomes.
See,
or if you were just a normal person, there's this like whack ass middle outcome.
Yeah.
Like, why did you?
See, and it's funny that you say it because when you started saying angels or Satan himself or whatever, instantly my mind flipped over to Fable. That was my shit back in the day, and the fact that they're making a new one.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm
think
so fucking excited.
A lot of people have a lot of problems with, game developers reaching back and throwing some remasters at us. I don't mind. Look at Spyro. They're about to bring us all that shit.
Yeah.
And it looks like a great looking game. I'm totally cool with bringing back nostalgia.
I am, as long as it's within reason.
Yeah. Like if they brought back Sly Cooper, I'd be totally down for that.
Yeah. Now if you bring me like Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, you can just fucking go kill yourself because I don't want to play that shit.
I don't want to. I want that shit.
No, I don't. It shouldn't take me fucking 2.5 hours to finish one level. I'm not okay with that.
Yeah.
But no. See, right now I'm playing Toukiden Kiwami, or however the fuck you say it, which is like a very Japanese style like Monster Hunter game.
Yeah.
Stupid oversized weapons, which I have kind of come to expect because it's made by the developers that did Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
Really good game, lots of fun, lots of different things you can do, with weapons and costumes and stuff. What is funny though is, if for people out there that have the game, if you have the internet, do it. If not, find the internet, go to Starbucks with a monitor.
Do it.
There is some free DLC for it. Here's the funny part. One of the free DLCs is an outfit, because you can change your outfit, aka your armor, and you actually see it in game, which is really cool. One of the free to download DLCs for this is a set of armor. Because I play a female character, so it looks like just this fucking red and white dress.
Yep.
I want to say 25 missions in. Pretty solid chunk of time. I think I'm sitting at like 4 hours of game time. And I have yet to find any armor that comes even remotely close to this free DLC armor.
Nice.
Because the free DLC armor gives me like 472 armor.
Damn.
Okay, the closest I have found is like this full set that gives me like 128.
Whack.
Yeah. And it's like, why is this free?
Yeah. But, I mean, like, I really like it when they just, like, give you what exactly you asked for. Now, when it comes to DLC, like, I always talk about Fallout, because these are just sick human beings that decide to, like, give me a whole new game, a whole new thing. But, Fallout 4, where they're still giving you us DLC, 2 years after it, 3 years after it came out.
Yeah.
I'm totally down with shit like that. But the problem is some people are fucking idiots like me and buy the first DLC, cash money, but you don't get season pass.
Mm-hmm.
You're a fucking idiot if you don't do that. I was an idiot. So now that I have season pass, I'm finally getting all this stuff that was like super cool. Like I got Nuka-Cola World, I've got fucking whatever the fuck else came out with that shit.
Nice. Well, it's like we were talking about the season pass for Batman Arkham Knight.
Mm-hmm.
When did that game come out? We never did look that up.
I feel like it came out forever and a day ago.
Probably. But, that game's been out for years, literally. Like I said, I bought the season pass the day I bought the game, which was shortly after it came out.
2015.
Magoo. God, 3 years.
Yeah, we think about stuff like that. 3 years is, generations when it comes to games. Like that. 1 year is a pretty big leap when it comes to just a video game,
But 3 years, and they're still releasing fucking solid content for this game. On top of that, the season pass that I bought when I bought the game 3 years ago, and I can't believe it's been 3 years, is still covering all of that DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking 20 some odd costumes, tons of skins for the Batmobile, all these various side story missions for 6-7 different characters.
Yeah.
And I mean, just that alone is hours upon hours of gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
And they even went as far as on each of those, they all fight their own way. They have their own voice acting.
Yep.
Like everything is made for that.
I am glad about that. It's kind of jarring at first because you realize like each of these characters has their own like type of playstyle.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're playing as Batman for so long, you get so used to like your combos and your counters and stuff like that. When you go as Nightwing, it is very confusing at first because it's a totally different movement. And same thing for Robin, the same thing for Catwoman. Like it fucking sucks when you try to like transition.
Well, it's like what is it? Arkham City. There's a portion in there where you get to play as Catwoman, and I was like, cool. Because you have to work in conjunction. So, you did your thing with Batman. Now time splits and you have to do your thing with her. And I got my fucking ass kicked.
Yeah.
Because her
I thought
timing,
it was hot shit.
Yeah, because her timing is completely different. Her counters are completely different. What she can and can't do. And I just could not,
Mad as hell.
for the fucking life of me, get that shit down.
I really wish Marvel would come out with a game just as good as that. And, Spider-Man, we keep talking about how wet we're going to be. But, I have very low aspirations when it comes to that, because I think the Batman series in video games was so,
untouchable.
Yeah, it was so
Untouchable
unbeatable in so many different ways. You know, this was like Assassin's Creed on steroids for comic book
Oh,
fans.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
really
yeah.
what I loved about this thing.
So, okay. From your opinion, if Marvel were to release a game, say, like your dream game from Marvel, what would it be?
Oof. It would have to probably be like an Avengers game. Well, so when I don't know if you've ever played this Ultimate Alliance. That was like this little badass game that got no fucking credit at all.
Okay, here's the funny thing about Ultimate Alliance. I've played and beat parts 1 and 2. In fact, on my PSP, I have parts 1 and 2. Along with, what is it, X-Men Legends, like Rise of Apocalypse or some shit like that. Okay, so I loved those games. The first and second one, actually, me and a very close friend of mine, Philip Bracco, funny enough, who has his own podcast. Back in the day, what was this, PlayStation 2?
Yeah.
Like, I remember he and I, on the PlayStation 2, for hours, playing Ultimate Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and, okay, you have these two characters, I'll take these two characters, let's do what we do.
Do this thing.
And they were phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Great story. At the time, great graphics.
Yeah, the characters link in with each other, not only in the way that they... So if you put like together 4 characters from the Fantastic Four, you get perks with it.
Yeah.
If you put together all mutants, you get perks for X-Men. If you put in certain people get certain perks.
Yeah.
And it's so sweet that not only these characters link in with each other, their attacks link in with each other too.
Yeah.
If you pull out Iron Man and Captain America at the same time and one of them uses
blast.
their shit, it's fucking awesome.
See, and they did that in the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because in the first one it was like, because like I remember watching commentary for this.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was very much, okay, can we work as a team?
Yeah.
Okay, that was the aspirations for the first one. The second one was like, okay, you can work as a team. Now let's take these characters and find a way that we can take their ultimates and actually, get shit done.
Yeah.
Like you said, Captain America and Iron Man.
They do that.
And
that good shit.
Yeah, and for those of you that haven't played it, basically what happens was, if you were playing with those two characters, your buddy had one of them, you had the other, and you both hit your ultimates at the same time, Iron Man would turn to Captain America, full on fucking photon blast, and he would hit it with his shield and just spread that shit around the area, killing everything in sight. The first time I saw that, holy shit, because it wasn't one of those like, that was the coolest shit I've ever seen. For me at least, it was, who else does shit like this?
Yeah. So then you're taking everybody and trying to link them up with each other.
Oh, yeah.
I think if you do it on X-Men, you can do this thing where if you have anybody with super strength and you have Wolverine, he'll just pick him up and throw that bitch like a spirit.
Fastball special.
Yep. It's fucking sweet.
Because
these are elements of the comic books that they brought in. Take a look at X-Men 3 when they're fighting the fucking Sentinels. Colossus picks Wolverine up, chucks that bitch right at somebody. Like, hell yeah, that's what I like.
Which everybody wanted to see. Everybody wanted to see the fastball special in real life, and we got it. But no, dude, like, oh my god, those games. I would have to say the same thing. Like, I would love for Marvel to get in with a good company, and make a new fucking
Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah,
I'd be into that. Now, games have changed a lot since then, and this same camera co-op was the hot shit back in the day. But today it's all about multiplayer.
True, but you do still have those games that are known for that. Look at Diablo 3.
Yeah.
I still play the shit out of that game, and I've beaten it far too many times that I want to admit on the air.
Yeah.
And I still can't get enough of that game. Like, I know if I go back through the story, it's going to be the exact same shit. Now, granted,
I'll do things a little different.
Oh no, I still go in and just tear shit up.
Every time I start a new game, like I'd like to think that I'd try to like do things a little bit different.
Well,
Fallout being the exception because like I've spent so much time in that.
Well, yeah, but in Diablo, like when it comes to the story, there is only one way to do things. But for me at least, like I think the character that I have now, because you have your character. Core levels are between 1 to 70. 70 is the max your character can go. After that, your character goes into what's called Paragon. Paragon is, you keep leveling up, and they go into Paragons, and at that point, you assign your attribute points. Whereas 1 through 70, you don't. It's just, level up new skills.
Sweet.
So, I think my strongest character that I have right now is, I want to say a Paragon like 320.
Shit.
Yeah.
No fucking around here.
There is no fuckery.
Yeah.
And for me, I still love playing the game, but for me, it's at that point where it's like, okay, what is that new armor? Because just like Borderlands, this was the originator, but weapons, armor, enchantments, rings, blah blah blah, it's all completely randomized.
Yeah.
So like at one point I found the Cowl of the Dark Knight. Damn near lost my shit when I found that. I found Batman's mask in Diablo.
Bussin'.
Holy fuck balls.
Yeah.
But it's all completely randomized. You never know what you're going to find. You never know how much stronger it's going to be. But there's more than that, because there are, like a secret unlock level. And that took me way more time than I cared to fucking put into that, because I've played it so much that I know the percentages for certain things now.
Yeah.
Like, to get into the secret level, which in Diablo 3 is not a secret cow level like the other two. This is a secret I don't even know what the fuck it's called, but basically you fight cows and flowers. Yeah, that's a thing. And rainbows, by the way.
That's special.
Rainbows do AoE damage, and I don't even know how the fuck that works.
That's just a thing, I guess.
Yeah, this is not physics. But to get one of the pieces, you have to go to this level. This certain cave has to spawn, which is a 50-50 shot if it spawns. Okay? So you keep reloading until it spawns. Cool, you get in there. Then you have to find this one enemy which has a 0.03% chance of spawning. Say you find this enemy, you kill said enemy, who is a female which doesn't look like one.
Yeah.
The piece that you need to drop is a 0.001% chance of dropping. You know how many fucking times I did this goddamn level and reloaded my shit? I was not okay with this. It took me 2 weeks of this shit.
Good God.
And once I finally got it, never looked back.
Never looked back. All right, right on. I can dig it.
But the cool thing is, I have one of every character, some higher levels than others. But the cool thing is, you jump in the game, and your Paragon transfers to any other character that you make. So if you're a Paragon 30, you start a brand new character at level 1, that Paragon 30 goes with that character.
Okay, right on.
So you start with this huge buff because you can go in and reassign your stats to what you want your character to play like.
Yeah.
So getting back to the original point of all this, the bird's eye view games. Like I said, there's Diablo in 2015 or 6? I think 2016. There was what was it? Marvel Avengers Omega, I think. Which was very much like Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah.
But it was an MMO.
Okay, so yeah.
And originally came out in 2012 on the PC and blah blah blah. So these games do still have a place, but
it's just not in the forefront of, I think, developers' minds at this point. So.
No, it isn't. Well, because now you have to give them something to play that.
Yeah.
Now granted, if they dropped another Ultimate Alliance,
I'd buy that shit.
Day one.
Yeah.
Day one.
Oh, yeah.
And you couldn't get me off of that.
Yeah. The only thing is just now that, Marvel is so much in everybody's face, this has to be a great looking game, or else it's going to, fuck up the reputation that they got going on for their supers. So.
Yeah, and plus with the technology of game consoles now and what they can do, aside from just amazing graphics, because being bird eye view, it has to be something visually appealing.
Yeah.
Now everybody's looking at, okay, well, what characters is this going to have? Because nobody wants to play Ultimate Alliance 3. I'm not confirming there's an Ultimate Alliance 3. Calm your shit. We're simply speculating.
Shit, yeah.
But say Ultimate Alliance 3 comes out, nobody wants to see a rehash of all the characters from the last two.
Exactly.
Bring some back. Wolverine, Captain America, Magneto.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a fuck about the Thing.
But they want to give you shit that you think about now. You want to see Black Panther. You want to see Luke Cage. You want to see these guys.
But see, both of those were in Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2.
Really?
Yes, they were.
I think Black Panther was, but I don't know about Luke Cage.
Black Panther was in the first one. Luke Cage was in the second one.
God damn.
Because he wore a rust orange shirt with the metal gauntlets and a pair of blue jeans with a belt buckle that was way too goddamn big for anybody to rightfully wear. I remember that shit.
I was there.
And a Jufro.
Jesus Christ. Back in that Jerry Curl looking
Yeah. But you know, like bring in some shit that we're just not ready for. Bring in Beta Ray Bill. Bring in Mystique.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Mystique hasn't been in one. Rogue, not really relevant anymore. Captain Marvel.
Yeah. That people were thinking about now. Even some Nick Fury would probably do
Yeah.
some good. You know?
Well, Nick Fury was always the one that ran the team.
That's true. Very true.
So,
Absolutely.
but the Punisher was in, I think, the second one, something like that. Deadpool,
Nightcrawler was in there too.
yeah, Nightcrawler was in there. Deadpool was in one of them, but I mean, honestly, who doesn't want to play as Deadpool?
Yeah.
You know, like bring in characters that people would be exciting to play because they don't know much about them,
Yeah.
Unless you're a hardcore nerd like
And
myself.
that's what's so good about these Ultimate Alliance games. Is it gives you small tastes of what comic books happened.
Well, yeah.
Like when you go to the training modules and you're trying to make some XP, it's like they give you this little fucking quiz, and they're like, you learn shit along the way, and it's
Yeah.
a cool little experience.
Well, yeah, and not to mention the stories. Like, what was it in the first one? You had to go against the Mandarin.
Yeah.
You know, and we're talking like comic book scary as fuck Mandarin.
Yeah, so you gotta go through his fucking levels and
Yeah,
bullshit.
you know,
Like, that
and then-
one sucked because motherfuckers were jumping out on you daily.
Oh yeah.
And they would give you extra dialogue if you were like, if you put Iron Man in front of him, he'd give you extra dialogue.
Yeah.
So these motherfuckers would talk to each other.
Yeah,
you know?
which was really cool.
Yeah, like when you fought the Winter Soldier, if you put Captain
Yeah.
America out there, they'd give you extra dialogue.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
You know, so you had to fight the Mandarin, and it was comic book Mandarin, not was it
The
Iron Man
fucking shitty
2
one.
or 3, the movie
3,
where
yeah.
the Mandarin was. Oh
God,
Jesus
that's so irritating.
Christ, that guy was.
He was just like an actor and a fucking heroin addict.
Yeah.
He was just mad as shit. Like, that was so fucking lame.
Yeah, like when I heard the Mandarin was going to be an Iron Man, I was like,
Hell.
the 10
yeah.
Rings of Power shit's going to get real, and then they bring me this fucking jabron,
It's fucking jabroni.
and it's like, why?
Who the fuck is this guy?
Right? And he wasn't even the main bad guy. It was
No,
some
just
other
killing
jabron.
him. Yeah.
You know, fucking Plant Man.
Yeah, gay ass bullshit. But yeah. What else? What else is...
Pause for dead air. And so I think at this point, well, if we had any, I'd say bring in the fans.
Yeah,
But we really don't get a lot of commentary from the fans yet.
we don't. And that's where we need you guys to come in. Give us more shit to talk about. And
Yeah.
more racist bullshit.
Talk shit, honestly.
Yeah. We can definitely turn with the best of them. But
Sucking dick and playing video games.
that's it. But
Oh,
yeah,
no.
since it's just us two today, we got nothing but each other.
Yeah, no homo. So past that, I have to say, out of E3 and Spider-Man, what are you looking forward to most?
Obviously, Fallout. You know that.
That's true, I do not. I don't even know why I asked.
Fallout has been my shit since way back in 2008 when Fallout 3 came out, and it was just the scariest game that any human being should
Okay.
ever try.
Okay, me and Fallout 3 have this love-hate relationship. I had never played a game like that. Because Fallout 3 came out before Skyrim.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I bought it, jumped in, for both feet forward, and I played this game for probably 2.5 to 3 hours, and the game glitched and froze on me. Never played it again. I was done with that shit. Like I would love to go in and do all this cool shit and the exploring and see what the story's about, but fuck that game, because if it happens again, bad shit's gonna happen to good people.
Yeah. Fallout 3 was from a dark, wild wasteland of times before they figured out that you need to, like, curb how strong some enemies are. So, Fallout 4, you see a Deathclaw, you're like, alright, cool, game's on. Let me fuck you up real quick. Fallout 3, you just turn around and you run and pray to God it didn't see you. Super Mutants was the same way. Like, if you saw a bad guy, you would really have to think about how you wanted to get this done. The quick save was your best friend. Fallout 4, they kind of fixed that. Now, you're the scariest thing in the world. So, with that, I can live with. But now that 76 is coming out, it's got this online aspect to it, and I think that it's going to be 6 times more shit talking I have to the game, and then more. Now that I can just blow up my friend's settlement, there is no more game. This is only us hurting each other.
Yeah.
And they're saying like, oh, you don't have to play online, but I will.
Oh yeah.
I got to see what it's all about.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually kind of looking forward to doing the show like the week after that game releases, because you're gonna come in one of two ways. Either one, you're gonna come in talking mad shit because of all the terrible things you did to other people, or you're gonna come in salty as fuck, just ready to end everything. Like it's gonna be one of the two, and that's gonna be fucking exciting. Well, for me, it's gonna be exciting. Not so much for you.
No, not for me, because I'll have my life ruined again. All that shit.
I'd have to say, other than Kingdom Hearts, because I've been waiting
that's right.
way too long for Kingdom Hearts 3, and it looks so good.
It has such high expectations, right?
It does.
If it fucks it up, then what did we spend all that time waiting for?
Well, yeah, because when you played the first one and beat it, after the credits, there was the secret trailer for 2. And then after 2, there was the secret trailer for 3.
I remember playing this game with my brother when I was like maybe
years ago.
Yeah, this was like a hot minute ago. Let's see, Kingdom Hearts 2. That is not a thing.
I don't even want to know what you put in there.
Big black dicks.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Kingdom Hearts 2. 2005! Oh my god, no!
Jesus Christ!
Good lord, I was in 5th grade.
13 years ago.
So yeah, there's a lot of hype. If it doesn't live up to expectations, what did we spend 13 years doing?
Okay, see, that being said, there is only one of two things that could happen with this game, because this game is not going to come out and be like, it's okay.
No, it is.
Because the bar for this game is set so unremarkably high. The first one, phenomenal. I actually just finished it not that long ago. The second one, phenomenal. Finished that one recently too with a collection. 3 is one of the most anticipated games that has ever been released.
Yeah.
And like I said, the bar is set so unnaturally high. This game will either surpass it with flying colors, or it is going
hot garbage.
Yeah, it is going to bomb so hard.
Is it No Man's Sky?
Oh, yeah.
They're coming out with more bullshit for that, right? They're trying to fix it.
There is no fixing that game.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we're going to give you multiplayer. We're going to try to fix the randomizer.
There is no fixing that game.
Yeah, I think it's just a fucked game.
I'm sorry, but when you sell the game and within the first week there's $1.6 million worth of returns, that's not okay.
It's done. What can you do with that? Yeah. And really, after the show we had about it, I hadn't played it. I had to go watch gameplay and had to see what it was all about. And they're like, in the first 10 minutes, it is a phenomenal game.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get out there and you try to do literally anything else, and it's fucked.
Yep.
So, just like real life.
True story. True that.
True that.
But yeah, so I mean, like that. I'm excited for Kingdom Hearts 3. I don't have the name in front of me, but there's a new samurai game coming out for the PlayStation that looks so good.
For Honor's got more bullshit coming out, I think. That's the one with like the Vikings and samurai and all that kind of crazy shit.
Well, because I've got a buddy of mine that plays that, and apparently, like, even in online tournaments, like there was always just one character that you couldn't use because I think she was like stupid OP.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they're going back and they're like rebuilding servers and balancing and all this other stuff. So I wouldn't mind picking that up at some point and seeing what it's about, because everybody that plays it has nothing but good things to say about it.
Yeah, good little game from what I've seen.
Eventually, I want to get back into Killer Instinct for the Xbox One. I played that for a long time. I fucking love it. I still listen to the soundtrack of that game.
You know what we need? We need a new Jimmy Neutron game. Because I go back and I watch like this old footage of games that I used to play that I used to think were the hot shit.
Do you know what the fuck we need?
Huh?
A new Blasto game.
Oh my god, what is wrong with you?
Many things, most of which don't have names. But do you remember Blasto?
I think I have vague recollections of it.
Okay, Blasto was on the PlayStation 1 way back in the day. Okay, we're talking like this game came out when the fucking Transformers, whatever the fucking Dino Wars or whatever it's called came out, like way back there. Blasto was this game where you played probably the most retarded space hero, like some master space cadet or something, that had the cheese. Okay, basically it was like a space version of like Earthworm Jim.
Yeah,
That motherfucker right there.
I remember this.
Okay, some of those levels were so goddamn impossible. It made you want to rage quit before rage quitting was rage quitting.
See, this game looked a lot like the Woody Woodpecker game that I played on the PS2. That was ridiculously hard. There was no human being that should be able to like 100% this game. It's fucking stupid. Like, so you get a couple missions in, or whatever timeline in. You play as Woody, and then you beat that. Mm-hmm. And then next you play as his nephew, and then you have to be a straight up god among men to pass his bullshit.
I didn't even know he had a nephew.
I didn't either. I made it about halfway into his shit, and then I tried to kill myself many times over this one game because I couldn't beat the game. I only made it halfway in, and I considered myself a pretty good gamer at the time. Could not make it work. I could probably go back that as an adult now, playing some of the hardest games that I've seen. I've played Cuphead, and I still think that game
such a great fucking game.
For the pure amount of effort that went into it, so much. If you don't know, if you haven't seen it, Cuphead is this fantastic game that was hand drawn in classic animation. So when we say like this game took time and effort, this was human beings drawing with the fucking might.
Yeah,
drawing it, storyboarding it. It's crazy shit.
Well, yeah, because the animation, the colors, the music is all from like the cartoons we grew up with.
Yeah.
You know, Porky Pig, Bugs Bunny, you know, shit like that, like that kind of grainy texture, the same colors, the animation. I mean, like, just, god damn, that was such a good game.
Yeah.
It was hard as balls, but it was so good.
It was very entertaining.
I think Blasto would be interesting to see a remake of it.
I'd be down for pretty much anything, you know.
You know what I'd like to see? I would love to see, like, a full-blown, from the ground up remake. Don't change a fucking thing other than the graphics, definitely the music. The original Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay.
But I want included in there is Tony Hawk like today, like old and busted, and like has like a lot of like situations where people like see him like, are you Tony Hawk? Like, I don't know if you've seen this, like his Twitter thing, like where people like see like, oh, are you Tony Hawk? Yeah. Why? Okay, I guess. Like, people are so mean to Tony Hawk now.
Jesus.
I remember he was like the raddest fucking dude. Now he's like in his 50s, and he still skateboards pretty hardcore. I mean, like,
well, I don't doubt that.
So like, yeah, I'd love to see this, and I'd love to see a fat Bam Margera in there too.
Right, missing like 90% of his teeth. Driving on set with a Lamborghini.
Good God.
But my introduction to that game wasn't go out, buy the game, learn how to play it. No, I was way too fucking broke for that shit. So a guy that I went to school with, I'm not even going to call him a friend, because honestly I don't remember him that well. He got PlayStation Underground. Mm-hmm. For those... Okay, so... PlayStation Underground. For those of you that don't know what it is. PlayStation Underground was a monthly demo disc that you would get in the mail. Usually had like 10 to 12 demos on it. Mm-hmm. You know, like one level or timed or what have you.
Yeah.
And then it always had like some trailer, you know, it was full of shit.
Yeah.
So there was one, and it had one of the levels from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater when you're actually in the building of the skate park.
Yeah.
I knew every goddamn thing about that fucking level by the time I was done.
Nice.
I must have played that demo
100 times. 1,000 times.
Easy. So, when I was a little bit older, maybe like the next year, had some money, I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to get this. I'm going to get this game. I'm going to wreck this game. Shit's fixing to pop off. Mm-hmm. It didn't. It didn't.
It's a hard fucking game.
It is.
Yeah. I think my first one was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, and what really got me was the soundtrack that came with it. It had stuff like Express Yourself from NWA, and
nice.
A song from like Less Than Jake. It was... Oh, All My Friends Are Metalheads by Less Than Jake, and it was fucking awesome. But what they don't tell you is that, and I think we talked about this on a previous show, is that one of the hardest things to do in there, any human being that wants to play this game tries to accomplish all the missions
in one run.
And when you
bail once,
it fucks the whole thing up.
Yep.
You gotta start the whole level over again,
Yep.
and it's fucking garbage.
Yeah,
This is a game they need to bring back.
Oh yeah,
I'd be down with that.
like I said, don't change a thing.
Just
Just-
make it look nice.
Yeah.
Polish that turd up for me and throw it right back at
Oh
me.
yeah,
So,
I would even spend fucking full price for that.
I probably would too.
But because, like, okay, on the PlayStation 3, they released, oh, what was it? It's like Tony Hawk's Skate Park or something like that. And basically, it's like this crude amalgamation with updated graphics of random things from Tony Hawk's 1 to Project 8.
Yeah.
Minus being able to jump off your board and run. And I was like, okay, they have to have this level in it. They have to have the skate park level in there. Nope. They have the mall in there. I fucking hated that goddamn level.
Because you have to break glass all the time. Is
No.
that the one that was I'm thinking of?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I just hated that fucking level. Because there was one of them where you had to get up enough speed, grind up the escalator, which is moving down, by the way, not an easy feat. Fucking grind up this thing to get one of the letters that's up there, time it just right to jump off of your grind over a glass wall to hit another letter, which I almost never did successfully, by the way, and then do it just right so that when you land, you can actually keep going. Now, let me tell you what actually happened.
You
I would grind
bail
up
out
this.
right in the middle.
Oh, yeah. Like, okay, if I didn't bail going up the escalator, which was about 90% of the time, got up there, got the letter, which I think was an S. If I made it over that wall, which was pretty often, I had that shit down.
Yeah.
You get over that wall, and then all of a sudden, my fingers would be like, we're out,
Done.
and I would forget what to do next. So here I am, with 2 letters, free-falling, face first, into the side of a fucking pool in the mall, which I think by this time is now painted red with the blood of my enemies. And it's like, it was... Oh,
Impossible,
God.
yeah. I totally get what you mean.
You know, and then you do all this shit, you get all these tricks, I don't care how many runs it took, and you think when you're getting to the end of the level, it's, you know, you're just going to fucking flip around and come back up. No. You go down these escalators, it doesn't matter how you do it this time, and you go through these set of open doors, and you're done. And it's like all of that, just donezo. Why?
God hates us. God is dead. We did it.
Yes. Activision, if you're listening to this,
Give us what we want.
God damn it, I fucking hate you for that shit. You know, or what was always worse is, what was it? I think in Tony Hawk 2, because they had one in 1 where it's this bowl, you know, you up, down, you know, do your little flips, woo. But it was a round bowl.
Yeah.
Now, if you came down and you fucked up, you didn't bail. You hit that unnaturally fast, and you were just spinning in fucking circles.
Like the game wouldn't realize
Yeah.
that there's physics involved, and
Yeah.
you're just like road rashing yourself all the way around.
You know, or if you were still on your board, you were going even faster, and the camera at this point is like, "What the fuck is going on?"
There's no fixing it. And
No.
then just
The only thing you can do is like fucking hook to one, you know, to either left or right, and hope to God you fly out and bail.
don't hit
and-
anything on the
Yeah.
way out.
Oh my God, Jesus,
Death is
fuck.
imminent.
Oh, easily. Like when you started the fucking tornado with the force of 1,000 suns,
That's it.
it was not going to end well. And if by chance you like hooked left or hooked right, and you managed to straighten out and go straight up, you were coming back down. Like this was going to happen again.
Yeah.
God, I fucking hated it.
I always love that in Tony Hawk, like when you shot up on any kind of like curved thing, you're going straight up like a fucking rocket, and you see yourself like slowly start to turn. And
Yep.
You gotta like line yourself up just right, because if you have any kind of angle, you will die
Yep.
right there as soon as you make contact.
If that fucking fictional wind pushed your board
Just
a 1,000th of a centimeter, it was going to catch on that lip, and you were going to eat
You're gonna die.
shit so goddamn bad.
It was like only half physics, and that's it was kind of like Grand Theft Auto 3 in that way. It was only half physics, where like I don't know, like I'm sure everyone's tried to do this back in the day with Grand Theft Auto. Is they'll hit the highest point they possibly can with a car, and try to turn all the way around and do like a flip.
Which nobody ever did.
No human being could, because it just wouldn't allow you. But we kept trying because
Oh,
you
yeah.
get right there. I'm talking like right there, where you're just like, okay, now it's nothing but here. But you get to that angle, and then you spin around like crazy.
It's like the game would freak the fuck out.
Like not knowing what it is you're doing.
And death was imminent.
Death was imminent.
I think the only other level that I liked the level, but at the same time, when it came to the missions or whatever the fuck they were called, the school level on Tony Hawk's 2, which is in the fucking rehash on the PS3, only because, like in every level, you have to get the letters to spell skate.
Yeah.
Cool. This level was so goddamn big. The last letter was at the very end of the stage. Now, when you play these, you only have, 3 minutes?
Yeah, something like that. Unless you're, on, the fucking Zen mode or whatever the fuck they call
whatever
that
the
shit.
fuck that shit was.
Yeah.
It took you 3 minutes to get from,
just get
from
there.
the start to there. And then, once you found it, getting there, because, you had to, grind on this table and then hit this vert and then go straight up and then grind... fuck that. Fuck that.
No human being was able to do this.
No. And it's like, once you got it, same thing. You were going to bail on the way down. So if you were counting on that score
You
to
just
get
had to kamikaze it. That's
Yeah.
really what it was.
yeah, it's like Luigi throwing himself through there, just fucking straight down, just head first.
Good God.
It's like, I know I'm going to die, give me the fucking letter. Because everybody tried to do tricks all the way through it, and fucking ollie their way to each trick, which was total bullshit, by the way, because at some point, keeping an ollie... Forget about it.
You have to pop into a manual and slowly
Yeah.
teeter yourself anywhere.
Yeah.
Hope that you get some kind of momentum and then fuck it up instantly.
Which it never happened. But so you've got this 6 score going, and you get to where this last letter is. Now everybody was like, okay, if I do this just right, I get that, I land, that's the score I need to get whatever it is for this level.
Yeah.
Never happened. You were better off starting the level, go do your score, and then just play the level again, get the fucking letter, call it good.
Pretty much.
And then on, I think Tony Hawk's 1, there's a level, I don't know why, when you're apparently thinking it's a good idea to skate down a dam.
Yeah, I was thinking because there's a level in one of them that you're in a steel refinery or something like that.
Something like that.
And it's fucking awful because
But-
hot lava is pouring everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're spinning on top of a hot barrel of lava. No human
Yeah.
can do this. And they're
I know which one you're talking about because I avoided that level for as long as I possibly could.
but you eventually gotta do it.
Yeah. Well, it's like this one. Like this one, like them all, was a straight shot. Start, finish. That's how it was. What they don't tell you is that you move so goddamn fast down this level. You had to play it 4 times just to map out on a piece of paper
Yeah.
where each thing was, because there's one point, and we're talking like a good 60-degree angle that you're moving down.
Yeah.
There's one point where you hit this ramp, you go up, and you have to catch a power line. I don't know why you're on a power line, but apparently you have to
And
do
it's
this.
the most insignificant aiming thing.
Yep.
And you could bail at any second
yeah.
randomly because you're like, oh, I got that good balance, and then it would just shoot you off.
Yep.
And you're like, all right, I guess I can go ahead and shove a big dildo in my ass. Good God.
Oh, I'm not even going to go there. But anywho, so
This isn't just my personal life.
I guess, man, you're
It's leaking out.
yep. I'm starting to think your house is a fucking porn shop. So you're flying down this fucking power line, doing 90 for no goddamn reason, and then it happens. There is a power line terminal right there, and everybody thinks, okay, I'm on the wire, I'm good, I can just stay on this thing, it will autocorrect, and I'll just keep going. Nay, sir, nay, because as soon as you hit that little right there that holds the power line, if you don't jump,
You're
you're done.
It's like that scene from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World where Chris Evans is it's a 90-degree decline, and I'm on icy rail. No human being can do that. There's girls watching. Somebody can
Shit.
be bored.
And then
Big fan.
yeah,
Why wouldn't you be?
and then you bail, and it's one of those. It's you're pissed off that you bailed because there was always a letter
Right there. Yeah, right at the end of the pole.
But at the same you were pissed off on one hand. On the other hand, you were
I deserve that.
yeah.
I
I
get
kind
it.
of knew this was going to happen. I'm flying down this at the speed of light, traveling on a power line. No good can come of this. But you did it anyways.
But you did it anyways. It lets you like. It's kind of like Grand Theft Auto. It lets you live out your demonic side. Like, no human being should ever try to do this. And you really tried to like pick up as much speed as you possibly could.
Oh, yeah.
Because you just want to test out what are the limits of this game's physics. How fast can I really go? How much can I get injured?
Yeah. And then there was always that one level. Everybody had their own level.
Yeah.
For me, it was that one, the dam. And I actually did this quite a few times. You start, and you miss every ramp, every objective, everything, to see just how fast you can go, to see if you can get from point A to point B as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
And at some point, you're doing like 120, again, for no good goddamn reason.
Yeah.
Fucking, there's blur effects in this game when there aren't really. Like, your frame rate is dropping.
Right? Like, it cannot keep up with it anymore.
Like, you can just hear the fucking PlayStation CPU, like, screaming in agony at this point. And you're flying down this thing, and then all of a sudden, one single pixel, like, apparently there's a quarter, for no goddamn reason, on the cement.
Just lips you right there.
Yep. Your track hits that, and you are going down like a fucking Hindenburg. Like, this will not end well. There will be blood.
Scream at the screen, and then your mom comes in and beats your ass for yelling at the TV.
Yeah.
Or at least that was my childhood.
Same difference. So, your character bails, and next thing you know, you're flying through the air like a plane with no wings, and you land on your face, and instantly, spaghetti comes to mind. And then your character gets up,
dusts himself off,
and the only thing you can think is, how?
Why? How?
Like,
you should definitely be dead.
Oh,
no question.
Easily.
No question.
You shouldn't have 90% of your body at this point, but you do.
You gotta just get up, dust yourself off, and pretend like nothing happened.
Yeah, but what made it rewarding, at least for me, because I'm twisted like that, whenever you beat the game, you unlocked two things. One, a secret character.
Yeah.
The best one was in Tony Hawk's 3 when you unlocked Wolverine.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking loved that shit. And Darth Maul.
Yeah. That was Tony Hawk 3, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was weird for no fucking reason.
Exactly.
I think one of the first ones was like you unlocked like the alien or some shit like that. And it's just a ridiculous amount of thing. I really remembered like Darth Maul like just popping nasty 540s.
That fucking dual lightsaber. There was that, and you unlocked the Bale videos, which everybody watched at least 1 million times. And every time you watch it, it was just like, oh
no.
And then like when you got to that big Bale video, because it was always the hardest thing to unlock, and it was always the longest. It was like 10-12 minutes. And some of those tricks, it's like you see them going up for this trick, and you know it's going to end badly, and you know,
but you can't tell them anything.
Yeah, like all you can do at that point is just like, oh,
why?
You know, and just watch as chaos unfolds. And some of those Bales, oh my god,
real nasty.
Yeah, muchos. But guys, I think that we've taken up enough of your time for tonight. We appreciate you listening to us rant and rave.
I gotta go home and pretend I gotta do work tomorrow. You know, that regular shit.
Yeah, I do.
Hit us on the comments, hit us on Facebook, hit us on anything. Give us some comments.
Definitely, guys. You know any questions, comments, concerns, smart-ass remarks. We're down for anything.
Down 2.0.
Eventually, we would like to get to the point where we do have some of you guys call in, be on the show, you know, whether it's asking some questions or just being a guest commentator. You know, let us know what's going on.
We also hope to get video at some point.
Yes. We are in the process of attempting to record video along with our audio that will be uploaded on Facebook and
the weird
YouTube.
Hand gestures we do for things. It's a lot of fisting action.
That's just him. I swear to God, that's just him.
So you can hear like the meat slaps.
Jesus Christ.
As always.
I'm so glad that I put fucking explicit content on all of our shows. But yeah, guys, hit us up. You know, let us know what's going on. Thank you for listening, and as always, stay cheap. I guess.
Yeah, that's a thing we say.
Is it?
I guess it is now.
I guess it is now. All right, guys.
Later.